to the polls in Lesotho's early national elections. Well, that vote is being held about 2 years ahead of schedule under political deal brokered by South Africa. It will put Prime Minister Thomas Thabane's All Basotho convention against his deputy, Mr. Metsing's Lesotho Congress for Democracy, alongside other parties. Well, contributing political editor, that's Vuyo Mvoko, is in Maseru, and we live to him now. Good afternoon, Vuyo, and thank you for your time on the PM News Desk.
Hi, Kesh.
What's the mood like in Lesotho ahead of these crucial polls, Vuyo?
Well, strangely, in Maseru itself, it's a bit quiet, actually. I mean, people are going about doing their own things. Remember, today was officially declared a holiday, so there isn't much happening in and around Maseru, because previously, yesterday and the day before, I mean, there were blitzes during lunch hour where political leaders were still canvassing, doing lunch hour blitzes, trying to canvass for support and so on. Today it's really, really quiet. But one other thing that sort of took us aback a little bit, our crew went to the border, which is a few kilometers from where we are, and there were so many people actually leaving Lesotho, and it takes just a fraction of that time to actually come back, meaning that there's very few people coming into the country, which I think would be a cause for concern, because remember, people were speculating that the last time around, the reason you had that hung parliament, among other things, was because of a fairly low voter turnout. One hopes then, of course, that we're not reading too much into it. But going on to other issues, the state of preparedness, the IEC keeps on assuring us that it is prepared. Nothing has changed from what we were told yesterday, that it's all systems go. The same goes for security issues, which Yoli Sanjamela in that piece alluded to. That too is pretty much under control. Every soldier is in the barracks. All of them are accounted for, except, of course, for those who will be assisting with the delivery of ballot papers, but also with the transportation of IEC staff. So as things go, as things stand right now, it's all systems go.
Vuyo, you're mentioning the Defence Force that is restricted to the barracks come election day. But how much of a threat do they pose at this point to post-election stability?
Well, look, there is no doubt about it. Basotho are really aware of what this means, and they have sensitized themselves, actually. If you look at the role that has been played by civic organizations, by the churches, by the NGO council here, to really speak to the leaders, but also to do groundwork right on the ground, speaking to people, to sensitize them to what is at stake there, that if there's instability politically in Lesotho, a lot is at stake. They can't grow their economy. No one is going to take them seriously, and the taps that are already open may just close. So they are very much sensitive to that, in other words, to what is at stake. And you get the same messages from all the observer missions that are here. The AU, the SADC mission that is here, the Commonwealth mission that is here. In fact, this morning, the African Union Observer Mission, headed by former Kenyan Prime Minister Raila Odinga, released a report, but they also had a media briefing where they are saying they have satisfied themselves that SADC put a lot of effort into what we are seeing right now, and from where they are sitting, everything is under control. And this election, in other words, there's no election, I mean, there's no reason this election shouldn't really go as everyone would wish it to go. And I did ask him about the security issue, which up until yesterday was probably the only issue that political party leaders were raising. And this is what Raila Odinga told me this morning.
I really want to commend SADC and the government of South Africa for the role that they have played in reining in the security forces and ensuring that they are neutralized, that they do not take partisan positions in these elections. But going forward, post-election, I think that this country requires a comprehensive constitutional review, which will bring all the institutions in this country under a civilian authority. So there has to be, for example, as far as the military is concerned, a commander-in-chief who is a civilian, who can give authority for the deployment of military, but with the sanction of parliament, as happened in most democracies.
Vuyo, how strong a presence do the regional police have in Maseru right now? How visible are they? We know SADC has deployed about 400 police officers so far from the region to maintain peace and order during these polls.
Well, the police are indeed doing their work because they have to do that. They have a constitutional mandate to do that. Whereas, I mean, with the defense force, it's not, their role is not critical unless, of course, something extraordinary happens. But keep in mind also the fact that because SADC is so keen to see this process through and to ensure that everything goes as planned. They have had reinforcements. You have reinforcements from South Africa, from Swaziland, from Botswana, and I mean, altogether 6 nations have sent through reinforcements that are going to ensure that the local forces, as much as they will be there to do their work, they will be other forces, members of intelligence, police, and armed forces of the from SADC countries that are going to ensure that they are there to see to it that no politician has a hold on the police and perhaps gets them to do things that they are not supposed to do. So the police are there to do their work, and so is the army, even though they are confined to the barracks for now, but they are under the oversight. SADC has an oversight role above them.
Thank you, Vuyo, for your time on the PM News Desk. That was our contributing editor, Vuyo Mvoko, live to us there from Maseru in Lesotho. Moving on now, a woman suspected of snatching a 3-day-old baby from the Groote Schuur